Hi guys, it's Shell, Sunbury Housewives. Welcome back to another video. If you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Hit the subscribe button to see future videos. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So today I have a really adorable tumbler for you. It's something I had seen off of Pinterest, and so I'm doing my take on it. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a 12-ounce wine tumbler. It is stainless. I believe I got like a whole set off of Amazon a while back, and so I thought, why not use it? So I'm painting it this green. I'm not sure what color green. This is something I've had in my stash for quite a while, and I'd actually hoped that it was still good, and it kind of was. So I'll put the link or the color in the description box below if I remember what color it is. So I love Waverly chalk paint. If I could ever find it, I would paint all of my tumblers this because it dries quick. It goes on great. And so, yeah, I'm just painting my tumbler, this Waverly chalk paint in this green, and it goes on chef kiss beautifully. So, like I said, it dries so quick, and it's getting to the season where I cannot go out and spray paint. It's getting colder out. So, yeah. And I'm actually not even waiting for it to dry. I am just going straight into glittering. And I pulled out Gemerald from the glitter guy and quickly realized this was not the green that I wanted. I actually wanted a brighter green, but I'd already committed, and I decided I'm going to wait till this dries. And then I will go over it with Mod Podge and go with the green that I actually wanted. I actually wanted to use Cash Money by the glitter guy, which is a more vibrant, brighter green. So, yeah. But there was no going back once I started pouring it. And so that's what I was stuck with at this time. So, yeah, so this was the green that I actually wanted to use, Cash Money by the glitter guy. As you can see, it's a much more vibrant green. And so what I'm going for is I'm creating a Christmas tree. So off camera, I went ahead and Mod Podged it and went over, and this is much better. So once that dried, I am going to go ahead and epoxy the tumbler. So I'm using here about 20 milliliters, which you don't need that much, but what I was hoping to do was do a flood coat, which flood coat is using more epoxy than you really need, just so that I can hopefully knock this out in one coat so that I can move on to the next step. And when I started to epoxy the bottom, I remember because I'm doing something really fun with this tumbler, and I don't want a whole lot on the bottom of this tumbler. So I do end up wiping away quite a bit from the bottom of the tumbler. But as you can see here, I'm starting to wipe away. I do want some epoxy on the bottom because I don't want raw glitter on the bottom, but I do want a little bit on the bottom, but not as much. So doing a flood coat here actually worked great. I did not need to do a second coat. So, yeah. So I do put the glitter on, or glitter, I can't speak, epoxy on here. I do hit it with my torch and let that cure. So this turned out great. Yeah, it sits rough on the bottom because I did wipe away a lot of that epoxy, cleaned up my rim, and I had gotten this set of these little log things, whatever you want to call them, sliced logs, and they're for keychains or ornaments. And I picked out the smallest one. These are about 1.5 inches, around 2 inches. I don't know. I didn't measure fully. And I got the smallest one, and I did take my Ccdiy quick coat and around the edge of the slice, just to secure any of the wood around the edge from flaking off. And I did pull out the little ornament hanger thingy. And then I am taking just a little bit of epoxy left over from another project, and I'm going to not fill in, but give a nice little coating to the bottom of this tumbler. pop any bubbles. And then, of course, I needed a little bit more because I'm going to adhere this little log slice. I don't even know what to call it. This little slab of log to the bottom to represent the little stem of our little wine Christmas tree tumbler. Like I said, I found this just scrolling Pinterest one day, and I saw this, and I thought, oh, I need to do something like this. Of course, I'm putting my own spin on it, and I just thought it was the cutest. So when I put that on there, some epoxy seeped out, which is a given, but I didn't want it seeping so completely out, running down the tumbler. So I am wiping some of that away, and then I'm going to set this off to cure overnight. So that is what I'm doing here. And then once that is completely cure, I will move into the next step, which I believe is the decaling, because I did not need to epoxy just quite yet. And I am still wiping away that epoxy. So that is completely set. That little wood slice is not going anywhere. And I am doing lights around the Christmas tree. This gave me some struggle because I did want to go around, but I did not want them to be massive and like overtake the tree. I probably could have gone a little bit bigger, but I don't do anything the easy way, obviously. So right now I'm working on the string, knowing that if I just tried to go ham and take this off, this was going to rip. So I'm going to reverse weed, and it still struggled a little bit, but so I'm just putting down my transfer tape and going to reverse weed this, and definitely did go a little bit better. And this here is just permanent black vinyl, probably Oracle 651 or just some other generic I got off of Amazon, probably the generic. But I did struggle here. Obviously, the really small, intricate lines was not having it, but I did just keep working on it. Some spots did weed up just fine, but you'd have those certain spots that wasn't having it at all. So you can sit and watch me completely struggle and about lose my mind. But other spots were perfectly fine. I don't know. I thought I had a brand new blade on there, but I have been working so much, I'm probably due again for a new blade. And I have sharpened my blade, the little hack. Well, I don't know, the hack of sticking it in tin foil. But anywho, once I get part of it, of course, I'm out of frame. Shocker. I do cut off one. I don't show you the whole process of me doing this because that would just be monotonous. But I do cut off one, and I'm going to show you how I wrap it around part of the tumbler. I turn it upside down, obviously. So I line it up the best I can. Now, because it's a wine glass, it is different. It's not a straight. So you kind of have to manipulate your lines to make it fit perfectly. And that is what I'm doing here. So I'm getting it around as much as possible, and you kind of manipulate your line to go the way you want it to. And this, because it's such a thin line, is very flexible. And that is what I'm doing, and cut off anything that you don't need. And of course, I made my lines a lot longer than I knew that I needed. And then I just cut off the excess. And then out of metallic vinyl, I cut out the little light bulbs, but I used 4 different colors. I used this teal and this gold, a red, and a blue. And this These were so little. They didn't want to weed out as well either. And I cut it on a very good setting. I think they were just so small. So I had to hand place those one at a time too. That was the most time consuming for me, was placing those each hand, by hand all the way around. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4 lines all the way around. The tumbler. But it was so worth it because I think it turned out absolutely adorable. And again, I don't show you the whole thing. I think I show you one of each color and like how I hand placed it. And then I cut to it being done. You know, the magic of editing. We would be here for hours if I did this. Oh, look, a close-up. I wondered if I was going to do that. I couldn't remember if I edited it to do the close-up until this moment. I don't know why I am using a craft knife to do this instead of my weeding pen. A glutton for punishment. I've sliced my fingers so many times. Anyway, so then I just alternate the colors, and I try to change it up each line. But so this is how it turned out. Absolutely adorable. Loved it. So then I did seal this with the Ccdiy white quick coat. To make sure that none of that vinyl lifted. I would have been so upset if this all lifted after all that work. And then I did give it 3 coats of epoxy to make sure that that was sealed. And because the edge of the wood slice was rougher. And then that was done. But last minute, I decided, what does every tree need? It absolutely needs a star. But there was no place to put the star. Except on the straw. So, of course, I had to make a straw topper. But I didn't think to film it because not every video needs a filming of just pouring epoxy into a mold. So I did mix some gold mica powder with a little bit of gold ink. So yes, but I really hope you enjoyed this video. This will be available on the website. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.